Hey y'all. I can't help but to laugh. I cannot help but to laugh. First of all, how y'all doing? This is AL Pick Madame and Cinnamon Sugar. And I'm at the house. I am procrastinating, trying to, beat the clock, so to speak, because I go to work tomorrow. That's my first day of the work week. And I'm at a point where I'm like, it's getting so hot outside, y'all. It is so hot. And even though I'm fine on the inside, I like right now I just have my fan on. I don't have to get no AC going or none of that. I'm fine. I'm not sweating as you can see. But I have a fan on. That's all I need. But it is really hot outside. And I've been rocking my fro all last week because I was debating on whether or not I wanted to braid it last week, procrastinating even further, not sure if I wanted to do lemonade braids, kinky twist. Like I gotta have for everything. I don't know what I want to do. Like Vixen crochet. Like when I tell y'all, I be want to do 15 to 20 hairstyles at the same time. I don't know what I want to do, so I'm like, But anyway, just in case somebody is curious about the products that I'm using, they are black-owned business products. For the roots, I am using Slick and Slay, the peach scented one. This is my first time using out of it. So far, I'm loving what it's doing to my hair. What I'm using for the rest of my hair is Donna's Recipe by Tabitha Brown Sweet Potato Pie Extra Creamy Hair Cream. I love how this smells. I love how it feels on my hair and what it does to my hair. Because you see what it's looking like right here. Okay? But this is what it's looking like when I put the product on there. So I'm still trying to make sure that my actual hair is still moisturized and all that, even though it's within a protective style. So I just had to get back to doing that because I had gotten into doing what everybody else was doing, and they just throwing the hair on there, and don't nobody care. And no, my hair need to be moisturized because I'll take these up out of here. My hair be doing whatever it want to do and be stiff, and it ain't breaking off or nothing. But I want it to still be moisturized and whatnot in between. So like no, so don't mind me while I'm giving y'all little updates and telling y'all about some stuff and just talking to y'all. I'll be doing my hair, but in the meantime, in between time, I literally just went to go and retrieve something that I haven't used in a while. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna use it. I'm not sure, but I have it just in case, and I might try to set it up. This is what I have, y'all. Many of y'all might know what this is. This actually is for people like me who um, do a lot of sewing, and it's supposed to be for your thread or whatever. But a lot of people in the hair community use these so that we can separate hair and put hair on it or whatever. But yeah, I haven't used it in a while, and I actually initially purchased this when I wanted to do lemonade braids. So it was fine, but I just got to the point where I was like, nah, whatever. So I'm gonna try to separate some hair out because it'll help me because I'm doing knotless or whatever, and I think it'll go by. It might go by faster if I just separate them and put them on here, versus me going through each one of these bundles and taking it out like that. So don't mind me. I'm just separating here and talking to y'all at the same time. So anyway, I hope that y'all have been having an amazing week thus far. Y'all know I don't celebrate today. Today is just what 15 days or whatever. Happy 15 days after Juneteenth. That's what one of my friends said, so that's what I'm gonna say. But I don't celebrate today. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But I'm not going to disown people who do celebrate it that are black like me. But it is what it is. Do what you do. I'm just trying to understand why the black people in this community are in the daytime when it was the hottest outside, had the audacity to be out there uh, having a fireworks show. And I'm like, it was so bright outside at that moment. I was like, what is going? Are you all right? Like I was like, man, y'all doing too much. But I digress. Forget all that. It is what it is. If you do what you do, I can't try to police you and tell you what to do. But as for me, I don't celebrate. I ain't celebrated it in 20 years. So it is what it is. My folks even asked me yesterday. My mom was like, "Oh, you know, we used to have a tradition where my mama would buy us a new outfit on for the on the 4th of July. We would have a new outfit." And I was like, "Well, I buy a new outfit. My tradition is I buy at least one one outfit Juneteenth for Juneteenth." And she was like, "Oh, okay." Like she didn't come at me sideways. I was like, "Oh, okay," because my mom was a thug, so I was waiting to see if she was gonna say something. But she was like, "Oh, okay." And we went on with the conversation. So I'm just glad that it didn't go south. Y'all, I told them to send me my cousin's number. My cousin, who I told y'all about, who had a stroke, because when she was at the wedding, and she was like, "Somebody, you gotta get my number from my mama," da da da, and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay. So they have it. Worst case scenario is that I'm gonna have to wait until my brother goes up there, because he goes up there often to take stuff to my aunt and to her when she's visiting, because everybody takes turns taking care of my cousin. So when she's in town, or just in general, whenever my brother needs to go up there to help, because I think he actually goes up there to like mow her grass and stuff like that. Between him and my daddy, which is my daddy's sister, they go up there and they help and they mow the grass and all that stuff. Her husband is deceased. Um, he's been deceased for a couple of years. I ain't gonna go into that because some people don't know the history, but growing up, I knew the history, and it was kind of like, we just ain't gonna speak about this. So when he passed away, it was kind of like, okay. But anyway, y'all, what else? So we got a couple of more days until old boy has to go to trial. I'm still thinking that I'm not gonna show up. But let me tell y'all what he been doing though. Like, he been really trying me. And I'm just like, you got too much audacity for me, sir. I don't understand. Like, so I was at work the other day, minding my business. I don't remember if I told y'all this or not. If I did, I probably said it briefly and just don't remember. But I'm at work, and so I turn the corner. Nobody's there but him. I was like, oh my God. So he look up, because when you see somebody at the corner of your eye, you trying to see who it is. He saw it was me, so I had to put my head down. I had to pick my phone up. I got my music in my ear, like I'm ignoring him. So it's obvious that he said something to me, and I was like, huh? So I took my music out of my ear, even though I shouldn't have. I'm trying not to be evil. I'm really trying not to be. Because I'm just like, I don't like when people try me unprovoked. I don't like when people, do stuff and then want to act like, oh, let's just act like let's act like everything's normal. Like, no, you still haven't addressed the situation. Like, he don't even know that I know what's going down. So anyway, he gonna tell me, and I don't know why I could not hear him. Man, he talks loud. So after like the third or fourth time of him trying to tell me what he said, he basically said, the gist of what he said was, I saw you shaking that thing and it looked good. I saw you out there online shaking that thing and it looked good. And I was like, once I realized what he said, I said, I don't know what you're talking about, and turned away and walked off. Like, sorry, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out if this is thick enough, because I wanted to match up with the thickness of these. Now I'm thinking I done did them too thin, but we're gonna see in a minute once I start feeding them in. But anyway, yeah, he did. He be doing the most, y'all. And leading up to now, because he got like a couple of more days before he go to trial. I don't know if they're gonna push it again. I don't know, but at this point, I told my friend, my friend said I would play the same game he playing. I would get him for everything he got. I was like, girl, he ain't got nothing. And I ain't, in the business trying to get nobody for nothing. Like, forget him. I don't care nothing about that. Like, I'm not in the business of trying to use somebody. I'm not going to do you like you did me. Even though I should. I'm well within my rights to do so, because you played in my face for no reason. But I was just like, girl, he ain't got nothing. Like, what you talking about? But I don't think I'm going to go to the trial. I'm just gonna go and look online when I get off work. Well, no. I might as well wait until the following day. Depending on when I go to sleep, I'm just gonna wait until the following day, because the way that my schedule is, I go in Wednesday. I gotta go back in again on Wednesday to start my shift, which leads over into the following day. So it's already enough trying to make sure I'm keeping up with my schedule, doing what I need to do as far as that is concerned, right? So I don't think I'm gonna worry about doing all that. But yeah, he be doing the most. And tell me why, as of late, like all the little videos and stuff I've been posting, he been all of a sudden liking them. Like usually he just be watching. And it's like, even though you ain't liking, I know you watching. I know you're watching. So I've kept him intentionally unblocked so that he can see what he ain't gonna be able to get. You know, just to be my own, kind of petty, so to speak, when it comes to that. Because you tried me, like, you don't even understand what it could have really been. Because when I deal with somebody, I really go up for them. Same goes for my ex. Speaking of, the only reason why I brought that up is because yesterday I was minding my business. And so I'm in this group on Facebook where they post like really like crazy memes, right? And like that's the gist of the group. And so I was like, okay, what is this hidden for? So this particular post that I posted on, I said what I said within the, post. And like they were asking a question. And so the person who responded to me, I don't know why, but for some reason, someone told me to go click on his profile. I ain't even really mean to click on that man's profile. Tell me why he was from one of the cities in Alabama that one of my exes is from. Now, I've told y'all about this before. I had an ex that was from Lanett, Alabama, which is on the Alabama-Georgia line. Okay. Long story short, this man was trash. Now, I was attending Alabama State University still at the time. I was an upperclassman. And my ex that is from Huntsville, Alabama, he and I would go over to this woman's apartment, spend time with her. And this was before or after, wait a minute, this was before or after we had already had our time together or whatever as a couple. But I think this was before. But anyway, so this dude trying to talk to me, y'all. And we ended up being together, being an actual couple. And so I would travel to Lanett to go and see him. To this day, like, didn't nobody know that that's what I was doing. But yeah, my ex finally, found out. It was funny. I'm like, how you gonna be in your feelings about something that ain't got nothing to do with you, but go off though. So anyway, I was traveling back and forth to Lanett to see him. Keep in mind, I'm working, I'm in classes, always carrying a full load at Alabama State University. So it's not like I was just out here just like trying to just be out here in love and that's it or whatever. Child, this man didn't have nothing to stand on. I don't know what it was about me, but I was always open to date and deal with people who I felt like you have potential. I never tried to turn somebody down because they weren't where I was. So he seemed like he was interested. He was setting it off. So I tried to give him a chance. Y'all, make a long story short, he was trash. Every time I turn around, his phone off. So I'm like, oh, well, let me not be like all these typical other people and be like, oh, no, he doesn't have this, so I'm not going to do this. Like, no, I was going to hand you the money to pay your bill. But y'all, this man playing in my face. He'll get the phone cut back on, and he'll be entertaining other women. The woman whose apartment myself and my ex were going to, that was one of the people he started entertaining. So one day we was over at her apartment, and she starts talking about him because he got online and started talking to her. And so I'm looking like, wait a minute. Once she said Lanett, I said, oh, what's his name? Said that man's name. When I tell y'all, this man is named after his father. And his father's name, meaning his name, is probably the only name like that. I don't know who named him that. There ain't no mistaking. Ain't no, oh, maybe there's another one. Like, no. To this day, like, I don't think nobody else got that name. And when I first found out what his name was, when I was getting to know him, I was like, well, is that a, typo? Because in all honesty, I would think that that was a name that a woman made up that was with someone that they really loved, but they wanted the name to reflect the father's name, but they made it into a woman's name. So yeah, if I told y'all that man that y'all be able to find him with the quickness, because like I said, I don't think nobody got that name but him and his daddy. So anyway, I ended up Once I found out he was trying me, I told him I needed to meet up with him and that I was coming. So he thinking we finna just hang out and do all this because he lived for the fact that he was on the Alabama-Georgia line. So we would go out to places. One time I needed to go to the Walmart that was in Columbus, Georgia. And y'all, that place held some memories for me. And every time I've been there since, it do something to me. And I don't really even like going to that Walmart. It's a little bitty Walmart. If you've ever been to Columbus, Georgia, you probably know what Walmart I'm talking about. But anyway, so I met up with him at this park that he and I had gone to before, because as I've told y'all before, like I was really into, you know, walking and aerobics and stuff like that. So we'd gone to this park. It was a really nice park to me that we'd gone to. I mean, we had walked that entire park. It was so beautiful. So we met up and I ended up telling him, you know, I can't do this no more, you know, and I was kind of vague about it, but it was kind of like he was in disbelief, but it was kind of like, what can you do? Like, sir, ain't nothing you can say. I said, I'm done. I thought about it. It's over with, whatever. So he took it upon himself to call me that night. He gonna reach out to me like he kind of trying to get me back, because he knew that, you know, he had a cash cow dummy. He knew he had a dummy. So he was like trying to get me back. And I was just like, no. And then I straight up told him, the reason why I'm really, you know, all the way done with you is because you was trying to talk to one of my friends. And so when I said, he tried to deny it. And then I was like, you do know that I know you're lying. I said her name and everything. That man did a whole 180 on me and cussed me out, up, down, all around, like I was a piece of trash on the street. Like you would have thought that I was the one wrong the way he cussed me out. Like, sir, you got too much audacity. Ain't nobody got time. So that's what was going on. And I ended up, like, he really like went in, and he had never talked to me sideways before. So once he realized he wasn't gonna get his way and that he had been caught, now he want to try to deflect. And that seems to be the theme. And I don't understand why people like to deflect like that. Like, no, face the music. You're a liar. You're a cheater. Get up out of here. So anyway, y'all, old boy ended up DMing me that saw my comment under the meme in that group. And so he, you know, politely basically asked if we could continue a conversation. I said, oh, about what? Depending on, you know, what you're trying to talk about. Because in my mind, I'm like, no. Like, what you want to talk about? Because most people that DM me, they want to see if they can add me to their raggedy roster, which, sorry, I ain't one of them, because I'm way more by myself anyway. I do the most by myself. So, sorry, I don't need to be on nobody's roster. Y'all already can handle me on my own, one-on-one. Please stop. Like, the people be needing to stop. Like, they'll be having stamina. I just be like, y'all be having too much audacity and ain't even got what you think you got. So anyway, you know, he made it clear, like, he ain't like that or whatever. So it's funny because before he took it to the DM, he was like, wait, don't tell me you're an Aquarius. You got, like, everything he said was me. I was like, not you. I said, I am an Aquarius. And how you know? Like, I'm just like, and none of this is public. I have my profile set to where you can't see nothing but my little fake name I got up there. Like, you can't. Only thing that's real is my actual picture. Like, that's it. So I'm just like, sir, don't nobody have time for this foolishness. Like, what is really going on? So we started talking. And so when we started talking about the ex, he was like, because I told him, I was already looking at him sideways when he said he was from Lynette. And so he was like, well, I'm really from, when I tell y'all, I can't even begin to tell y'all the name of the place. Like, if I think about it, I will put it across the screen. I would have to actually Google it to see if it's like up the street or something from Lynette. But I had never in life heard of this. Now, I've heard of a lot of like interesting named places in Alabama, but I ain't never even heard of this. So I don't know if it's like a community that's like in Lynette or whatever. Like where I'm from Montgomery, but I'm from the community of Snowden, Alabama. So, you know, I'm literally, like, legally, if I were to put something on mail, in the mail, I could put Snowden, Alabama, or I could put Montgomery, Alabama, because both are one and the same. One is just literally the name of the community that I'm from. So anyway, we talking. I mean, we had a good old conversation. And I was going to go out yesterday, because that video that I put up yesterday, again, thank y'all so much for, thank y'all so much for going and watching it. Like, y'all have been really tripping me out. Like when I look, I just start laughing because I'm like, y'all are so funny to me. I cannot believe y'all are into these little videos I be putting up. You know what I'm saying? In all honesty, I started doing little videos like that, only sharing them with my family and friends on social media so that they knew I was alive, and just to share with them that, I'm not one dimensional, and I really have had a desire to do certain things and to showcase certain things, and especially if it's a part of my healthy lifestyle journey. I want them to see, some of the things that I'm doing. I'm not gonna sit up there and be like, oh no. Like there are people who come up to me and have been like, what are you doing to lose weight? And what are you using on your hair? And what is that perfume? Now when it comes down to the perfume, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Depending on what it is, I'm not telling you what it is. I'm not. I'm not telling you. That is one of the few things I will gatekeep. 99% of the things in life that I do or have that I've used, I will tell you about it. But perfume, depending on what it is, I ain't telling you. Sorry. The people at my job, like so many of them, all smell the same. And I'm like, baby, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm wearing. Because all y'all smell the same. You ain't finna start coming to work smelling like me, baby. I understand that we all have, or we should have, a different body chemistry, but I can still tell. Like, I have a really sensitive nose. I can tell that you sprayed this particular perfume, even though it don't smell that great on you. I know what it's hitting for. So I'm like, no, I don't want you to smell like me. Like, I had people in a perfume group get highly upset with me when they asked about gatekeeping perfumes. And I was like, well, I do it because everybody in my job smell the same, baby. I ain't finna be smelling like me. You're not about to start smelling like me. I get complimented day in and day out from strangers and people who know me because I'm known to smell amazing. Like, please don't believe the stereotype that all fat folks stink because some big fat people or whatever you want to call folks don't wash properly, don't clean themselves properly. A part of it is the diet. A part of it is some of the medication some of them are on that comes out of their pores. Like, no, I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. So you ain't finna say that about me. That's one thing I pride myself on. My ex used to even try to say something slick to me whenever I would um, whenever I would um, um, put on perfume when we weren't leaving the house. If I wasn't going to work, we weren't going nowhere. He looking at me like, "What's the reason?" And I'm like, "Just because we ain't going nowhere, don't mean I'm not finna put on no perfume. I don't know what you thought this was. I wear perfume every day of the year, every day, and it's not because I think I stink or anything like that. It's just the way I've always been since I started wearing perfume. Like it's gonna have to happen. The perfume gonna get worn, baby. So y'all don't pay me no mind. I'm just over here trying to let me part my hair first and I'll be back. All right, y'all, I'm back. I had to hurry up and go ahead and part my hair because if I ain't parted, I was gonna be in this mirror doing the most the whole time. So, but anyway, y'all gonna see me starting to braid, so ignore me on that. But so yeah, but old boy, he seemed really cool or whatever. He's from Lynette, Alabama, but he resides in Florida, and he said that like since COVID, he hasn't been back, and that he's in the military, and that's what got him away from there. And he don't really even fool with Lynette like that. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah, but that's home, and he was visiting, but since COVID and stuff like that, he don't really go home like that no more. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So he's been really dope to talk to, but I don't know if he'll reach out again. And if he does, I'll let y'all know how that goes. But I wasn't anticipating anything. I thought it was random that he even wanted to talk to me. Cause I be minding my business, drinking my water. I don't be, fooling with these folks. I just be like, okay, do what you do, honey. Do what you do. So, but it was very interesting though. Like we talked the majority of like we talked for several hours. I'm not sure if he was at work at the time because I was off. So I'm not sure what he had going on, but we talked a good amount of the day, and it was great. It was a great conversation. So that helped kind of help my day to go along as well, and it was nice. It was actually nice. Would I entertain him if he wanted to kind of try to talk to me? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not really interested in anything, so the short answer is no. Like, I'm stubborn, so I really don't know. And people be trying me. And so, but we have had so many similar instances and occurrences and things like he initiated and speaking on. I was just looking at him like, oh my gosh. Like, I couldn't believe that he was saying some of this stuff to me. So it's been awesome that you know, he thinks a lot like me, and we've been through some similar things and some of the stuff that he's into. I was just like, wait a minute, that made me even more intriguing. He is so funny. He kept saying that I'm just so hilarious, and I'm like, well, I don't know what that is, because I be really serious about stuff. And people be getting their entire life laughing. And I'm like, but I was serious. But I think I get that from my daddy and my grandmama. And they just have this natural way of just talking about stuff, even if they being dead serious, and it just comes off as funny. I just think I just got it from them some kind of way, because I'm not trying to be funny in certain instances. There are other times that I know it's gonna be funny, but I'll be expecting to be dying laughing. But anyway, y'all, what else? Let me see what else going on. I'm excited to see how this is going to go this week, because I'm second from the top of the rotation list. The rotation list back there is 4 people versus 15, 20 like it was when I was doing my other job. So all of us are within the 90 days. We've all surpassed 90 days. So, I'm already familiar with it, even though I've only had a month of training back there. I'm very familiar with how overtime goes, so they're not going to let it be a situation where they're going to be lenient with me, I'm sure. So if there is a situation that arises and they need somebody to take on time, they're going to pull me. I know they are. And I'm ready for it, because it's okay. I actually enjoy being back there. So that's the difference between where I worked and where I'm working currently. So that's the good thing. What else? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep y'all updated on the not so divorced man, how that trial goes over the next couple of days, because it's coming up this week, and I don't think I'm going. I feel like it's at least one more thing I was supposed to tell y'all about. I did see the side heifer the first week when I came back and I started working that man's schedule. And so when I saw her when I was leaving out. So I'm walking out with everybody, we all talking. My friend is talking to this dude who's like a maintenance man now. And so she was literally in the middle of a conversation with him. And this heifer, she sees me ignoring her. And I'm like having a whole conversation with somebody else, because my friend, stopped talking to me briefly to talk to him. And so she gonna stop in her tracks. This heifer stopped in her tracks, y'all. And instead of going on, because we're all heading out the door, like, what is the reason for you to stop? But there's no reason for you to stop. It's time to go home. Or for you, you probably got to stay over. But whatever, do what you do. So she gonna stop at her tracks, and then she gonna like aggressively tap on the back of the dude that was talking to my friend. Like, she just had to talk to him in that moment. It's like, girl, please stop. Like, the stuff that she has to do to try to get attention, I just cannot. I'm just so glad that that ain't something that I got to deal with. Like, it's just so sad. It's so sad, to say the least. But she did all that. Then the second day that I saw her, I was having a full-fledged conversation with my same friend. And she gonna stop. She stopped when she saw me talking to her, right? And so she started trying to act like she was talking to this woman. And I'm just like, girl, you're doing the most. And like, she stopped in the middle of where she was. I'm like, girl, this is like, we got traffic going. What are you stopping for? So she gonna stop. And then she took it upon herself to say, hey, to my friend that I was talking to, trying to break the conversation. I'm like, girl, you be doing the y'all don't understand. Like, don't nobody fool with her. Like, she has to do the most to get people to talk to her. And I'm like, but that's your fault though, heifer. Like, girl, please stop. Stop the madness. That just be making me laugh. Cause I'm like, girl, you be so desperate. Y'all don't mind me. I done got a piece of hair caught up doing the most. But I think those were the only 2 days I saw her. And I'm just like, I'm so glad that I don't see her all throughout the day. And I'm just hoping that man don't come back or a situation arises where I'm able to continuously get my hours and not have to worry about, oh, well, I gotta hope somebody don't come to work. I want to get the hours on the night shift because that's where the money resides. Y'all know I'm trying to move. Y'all know I want to try to, continuously do what I was doing a while back where I was sending money home and all of that. I want to be able to comfortably do that again because I kind of had to stop. So yeah, I don't like that. I like where the money is consistently coming in and I ain't got to fool with nobody, ain't no foolishness going on, and I can do everything I need to do, right? So, child. But we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see how it goes. I don't know if that man gonna come back or whatnot, but I'm trying to enjoy everything while it's happening. People have reassured me that they are going to help me when situations arise, when we have things that need to be done that I have never had to experience before, because it would be stuff that's out of my control when I should have learned it. Maintenance had to be called and it took them a while to get the situation under control. So it's like, ain't nothing I can do about it. I never learned. What else going on? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, don't mind me. I gotta rub this stuff in my hair. It's not gonna be a white residue on my hair. I just put a whole lot on that one, not paying attention. Because typically it don't do all that. It just blends right in. But don't worry, it's not gonna look like that for long. And this stuff, like even if I leave it like this, oh, it'll dry and it'll be, looking just like the hair, not white. I'm trying to think if there was something else that I was gonna tell y'all before I go back to work. This week is gonna be the week where I'm gonna work with my friend that looks like T-Pain but doesn't have locks or the money that T-Pain has. So that might be interesting. I don't know how he's going to be because I've never had to work with him like that in that capacity. So I don't know. Oh, so speaking of him, so he came to me and he told me something that he hasn't told anybody else yet. So he put the house on the market and the wife still lives in the house, but he put the house on the market and that he is looking for a place. And so like he always has these moments where he'll ask me about my relationship status, how everything happened, and because he knows that I'm single. That's the one thing that he does remember is that, I was with somebody, but I'm no longer with them. But he's trying to figure out like what, happened to lead to that demise. So briefly, it came up where my ex pulled a gun on me twice and he just couldn't take it. He walked off. He was like, Jesus Christ, and walked off. Like, people are genuinely shocked when they find out that I am single. I'm somebody who's not happily married and, things like that because of the personality that they've seen displayed. You know what I'm saying? I tend to be who I am. I'm myself. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm perfect. I'm never going to try to make it seem like I am the greatest woman that ever existed. I just feel like I am a decent person. And I just wish I knew what I did in a past life that people try to test my gangster left and right like that. But yeah, so back to him. So he was talking to me and he was like, nobody knows that I am actively looking for a place to stay. And so he asked me where did I live. And so he used to live like over here. This is considered to be the hood, if you will. But he said that where I live, it's changed a lot because there used to be a lot of gang activity and all that stuff. And like I told y'all, like even when I was living in the, as my ex called it, the trap house, I would walk through that community going back and forth to work, like walking back and forth to work when I didn't have a vehicle at that time. I went 5 years without a vehicle. So one day I dropped a scarf that I had purchased when I was back home. And I mean, it wasn't no fancy scarf or nothing, but when I came back through there, I dropped it on accident. When I came back through there the next day, somebody had hung it on someone's fence. And I was just like, oh my gosh, because I held it as sentimental value because it was one of the few things that I had that was original from back home. And so I couldn't believe it. Like they really, then in that community, I never had any issues with anybody. Nobody ever tried me. It was always nice. That's why I was shocked that people deem that to be the hood and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, well, I don't never had no issues with nobody. So I don't know what y'all talking about. Like people that might be considered to be hood, street folks and all that, they don't never try me. They don't never come at me sideways. They don't do none of this. So anyway, he lived somewhere like, he lived like in my car where it's parked right now. If you go the opposite direction, if you keep going where y'all see me when I'm in my car and I turn around and I come back up the street, if you keep going down this street, he used to live somewhere like at the bottom of this hill that I live on. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah, that's where I used to live and da 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 da. So he was telling me that he's very familiar. Do I need to redo this braid? Because what is going on? Hold on, y'all. Okay, I got scared because I don't like having to redo no braid because a little piece of hair out. Child, I ain't here for that. So anyway, so he was like, basically like, it used to be bad when he was there. So he's used to living in the hood and all that. Like it's better now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I don't deem it to be the hood, but I get what he's saying, especially given the fact that he is from this area. So I don't know. I guess because I've seen like real hood areas back where I'm from. Like it's an area around here. I'm telling you, I have never been inside. I ain't never trying to go down there. But if I ever become a social worker, I'm pretty sure I have to go down there. Even though they're redeveloping and all that stuff, I still wouldn't want to go over there. So that's the hood. But anyway, oh, but yeah, like I was saying, he said that nobody knows that he is actively searching to get himself an apartment. He to put the house on the market. And I was like, oh, well, I thought that you and the wife were going to work things out. Because I told y'all, I didn't know what was going on. Y'all excuse me. This is some of this stuff right here. Slick and slay on here. Got on here. Hit a washout. I ain't worried about that. But he was like, oh, no. We ain't finna work nothing out. When I say what I say, like once I put my mind to something, it's over with. So I was like, oh, well, excuse me. He was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I was like, oh. So he's not gonna get back with her. They still live in the same house. One of them is upstairs, one of them is downstairs. They don't have sex, they don't do nothing. And so he just wants to get a 2-bedroom. And I was like, oh, well, I thought you would have gotten more rooms to that since you have kids. And he was like, man, they almost grown. I was like, sir, no, I've seen his children and they aren't small, but I'm like, if they want to come over from time to time, they got to be able to have their own room. It's a boy and a girl. Like, what you talking about? So he's talking about he want a 2-bedroom and whatever. And I think one of them is 14 or 15. And I'm like, sir, they still got a couple more years. But he's about to, get his own place. And I told him that, I want to get my own place. He was talking about, you need to get a gun. Do you have a gun? I was like, no. He was like, it's dangerous out here. I'm like, I understand that, but I'm not scared. I got Mace. He was like, Mace ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't got no bat. You ain't got nothing. I was like, no, I'm not scared. Like, I told him, I'm not fearful of anybody doing something to me. He was like, that's fine. But these people don't care about your life. I'm like, sir, I get that, but I'm not scared. I do want to, however, get a snub nose revolver. He was like, yeah, you definitely need to get something like that because you want something that ain't gonna jam up on you and all this other stuff. And so he was like, go to a pawn shop. Like, he done went off. I was just like, because he knows that I'm single and I don't have anybody. Like, I don't have anybody. When I'm leaving work and coming in and all that stuff, no matter what time of the day and the night it is, I'm by myself. Like, somebody could be watching me, I don't know, but I'm still not fearful. I try to be aware of my surroundings. It is what it is. So anyway, y'all, but he's supposed to be getting a new place. He hasn't told anybody, and like, he's usually like thick as thieves with a lot of people, and I've been feeling some type of way because him and my friend are really chummy, even though he does not look at her like that at all. Because he and I were like really cool. Like, people would look at us like, wait a minute, what y'all got going on? Because like, that's how cool we were, even though we were not working together in any capacity at that time, right? But now they really are like as thick as thieves, which is fine. It's cool, but I was shocked that he hadn't even told her this information yet. So, you know, I'm not gonna tell her. She'll find out when he tell her, and you know, it is what it is. But I just keep y'all updated on everything else that's going on as it happens. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put this in a turbo mode. I don't know how. Like, I got a lot of sleep, so I'm good. It is currently about to be 3 p.m. So we're gonna see. Let me see how far along I am around 7 o'clock, because I do want to at least get 3 to 5 hours of sleep before I gotta go into work. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate everybody who has been coming and checking out my reels, shorts, whatever you call them over here on YouTube and all of that. Check out my community tabs, because I post something every now and again. You know what I'm saying? I've been posting things recently, so I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have an amazing day. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.